Hello, welcome to the Interior Design Program at UNA. My name is Rebecca Simon, and I am the owner and interior designer at Credence Design Co. located in Nashville, Tennessee. Like you, I began my interior design journey at the program at UNA back in 2011. It was a long, hard journey. I spent about 5 years at UNA and got my basics out of the way before moving on to the interior design program. And I always kind of knew that it was something that I wanted to do when I was a little girl. I would decorate Barbie houses and my bedroom all throughout the years of childhood and my teenage years. And if that's kind of your background, then this is probably the right place for you. It wasn't until I took the intro class there at UNA for interior design that I realized that it really was what I wanted to do, because I always wanted to do something bigger, something that would matter to the world. And I always thought that interior design was about making things beautiful, but it is actually so much more than just making things beautiful. It's about the functionality of a space and how people move and live and work in a space. And so I think that if that's something that means a lot to you, then you're definitely in the right place. I had experience with Kendra and Mr. Patel, and they were wonderful teachers who pushed me to my limits like you wouldn't believe. So just go ahead and get ready for that. You are going to be pushed beyond your wildest dreams, and you are going to become a better person in this program. While I was at UNA, I was the president of the student chapter of ASID, which is the American Society of Interior Designers. That was a wonderful experience. I took the initiative to be a part of Real World Design Week, which is just a little event that ASID puts on each year where you have the opportunity to shadow interior designers. So I went down to Birmingham and shadowed an interior designer and learned so much in just a day. And not only that, but you get a chance to learn more about designers, and that could get you a foot in the door later down the road. So after I did that, I just started taking the initiative to do that on my own beyond the program that was offered to me. And I started, I think it was my senior year, I started shadowing interior designers that were in Nashville, because I knew that I always wanted to move to Nashville. I shadowed Julie Couch, and I also shadowed Beth Haley. That was in the summer of 2016. That was my senior year. I really enjoyed my day with Beth Haley. She was just this genuine person. She's got a lot of style. Like, she cares about the world. She's really into green design, and I just really admired that about her. I would highly recommend taking the initiative to shadow interior designers. It helps you to get to know them, and it gets you a foot in the door. I would also highly recommend getting a job in the industry while you're in college. I spent most of my time working at the 360 Grill. I decided that I needed to get some real world experience, and so I went and worked for the Wood Floor Store located there in Florence, Alabama. And I believe that Cassie Wallen, which is one of the interior designers there, she did a video as well. You should go watch that. I internshiped with them, and they are a wonderful company to work with to begin your journey. You will learn so much product information. It helps you to work one-on-one with clients and customers, and I think that that's a great place to start, and look at what's in your own town while you're there in the program, and then you can go from there. So in October of 2016, after I had shadowed Beth Haley, I knew that she was someone that I wanted to work with. I saw that she was hiring on Instagram. Of course, we all love Instagram. Sent her my resume, and I had by that point built up a portfolio. Once you get to your senior year, you will have a phenomenal portfolio to send to potential employers. And so I had that thanks to Kendra and Mr. Patel. And so I sent that along to her, and because I had shadowed her and spent an entire day with her that previous summer, she invited me to come in for an interview, and I didn't get a response until probably a month later, because they were so busy. So don't get discouraged if it takes a while. And so I went, and my husband and I went and we were looking for apartments while we were up there, just in case I did indeed get the job. And in the same day, while we were at an apartment, I got an email from Beth Haley offering me the job. With that, we had about 3 weeks to pack up our bags and move to Nashville, Tennessee. So we actually decided to move to Franklin, which is on the outskirts of Nashville. If you've never been there, you should totally visit it. There's lots of cute little shops. It's just a nice, small, quaint town just south of Nashville. So you're kind of away from all of the hustle and bustle if that's your thing like me. So after several years of experience working with Nashville interior designers, I decided to make a transition. I decided that I wanted to go out on my own and start my own residential design business. It's always been a dream of mine. And it's always been in the back of my head. And I've kind of had, like, should I do this? Should I not do this? And I feel like all of this experience that I've had has led me to this point where I feel comfortable and I feel sure that this is something that I can do. And so back in March of 2020, earlier this year, right before COVID hit, I launched my business, Credence Design Co. I do everything here at Credence Design Co. on my own. I work out of my own home. I just work from beginning to end with clients on projects. I offer several different services. I offer e-design for clients that are out of town, and then I also offer full service design for clients that are local to Nashville or Franklin, just the Nashville greater area. It all starts with a project inquiry form that my clients can go to my website and they can fill out an inquiry form that asks them all sorts of questions about their project. I get their likes, their dislikes, their project details, what they're hoping to achieve with this design, and then we've got a timeline. You've got to have the budget, you've got to know all of these things up front, and then from that point I reach out to the client. I'll get an email saying that I have a new project design inquiry. Hooray! Which is always the best emails to get. But once I get those, then I'll call the potential client and I will just talk through it with them and see what it is that they're looking for, talk through what I've already seen that they're looking for, and then I'll set up a time to schedule an initial consultation to go meet with them at their home, and that's where we will do measurements. We will talk through everything. I kind of get a better sense of what the client's design style is, because that's really important to me, is seeing not what my style is, but what their style is and what makes them who they are. Once I have that, then I'll take that information home and I'll start the planning phase, where I'll go through and I'll create a proposal. I'll start the budget and create an estimate so that we can get everything that's selected on an estimate so they have it all broken down for them. And then once all of that's together, then we'll go and have another meeting together, and we will just talk through the selections, and there's usually revisions to be made, and so we'll go through and we'll just kind of like X out things that the client didn't like and circle things that they did like. Once we have all of that information, then I go through and make the revisions that we needed to make, and then once we get approval for that, then the invoice gets sent to the client. And then once that is paid, then we start ordering everything. And that is a process all on its own, because you have to kind of manage things as they go. You have to keep up with them. Things go on back order. You're like, why is this on back order? And that's kind of frustrating sometimes, but it's just a part of the job. And so you just kind of manage that. You manage anything that goes wrong behind the scenes so that it runs smoothly for the client. And then once you get everything in, then we start moving on to the install phase. I kind of like to do things where I do not schedule the install until everything is in, so that we can just do it all in one fell swoop. And then we'll go and do the install, where you have to get, in most cases, a lot of people involved, where you have to work directly with contractors or a handyman that will hang drapes for you, unless you want to do that on your own. Artwork installers. Working with a lot of different people throughout the process, especially in ordering product. If you're doing a full-on reno, you're going to be working with flooring installers, and you want to make sure that you're hiring reputable guys or girls that will do a great job. You don't want people who aren't going to do a great job. I think that's very important, is to be very selective in who you choose. Once you get to that point, you all kind of work together to bring it all into reality. And then from that point, it's the fun part where you get to reveal it to the client and they love it. And sometimes there may be one thing where they don't love, and you just work with them to switch that out and Just bring it home and make them happy, because that's what's most important. So from that point, we will schedule a time to do a photo shoot. Sometimes the photo shoot will be on install day, where you just kind of style and bring in a little bit of extra things and give it a little pizzazz, just to kind of build your portfolio so that you can get more clients coming in and so that they can see what you're doing. So that's kind of the process of what I do. There's a lot more that goes into it, but it's really hard to fit this all in a 5 to 10 minute video. So I'm trying to just hit on the basics here. And that's all you need to know right now, because you're going to be learning so much through this program. These are the things that you need to take away from this. Applying yourself now really matters. This is the time in which you will build a stellar portfolio with the best teachers in all of the land. This program is worth every single tear, sleepless night, and the dirtiest hair you have ever seen. Go ahead and stock up on the dry shampoo and the coffee now. Seriously, you're gonna need all the dry shampoo you can get. Prepare yourself for a journey of lifelong friends, creativity, and growth. Your teachers are going to push you, and you're gonna surprise yourself. Just a little side note, don't run to Mr. Patel's office crying when you didn't get the grade that you wanted. He will meet you with gentle grace, but this is your responsibility. Pay attention to the instructions on your assignments. Be selective in who you choose to work for. This is a really important one. Take note of places that have a high turnaround or are always hiring. Those aren't typically the places that you want to work for. Take it from a designer who has been there, done that, and learned many lessons. The most important thing is have fun, embrace these moments, make friends, make mistakes, learn, grow, and above all, push yourself beyond your wildest dreams. This program is going to stretch you. It is going to grow you. You are going to be a different person. Apply yourself. I cannot say that enough. Apply yourself. And what I mean by that is do things that you wouldn't usually do. Like, just get funky. Like, do things that you're like, wow, I can't believe that I just did that, that I created that. Like, just go beyond your limit. Go above and beyond what you would usually do. You're going to be so proud of yourself at the end of this. You're not going to believe how much you've grown, how much you've learned, and what you can take into the real world. This is the real world. College is the real world, and this is the real deal. So take this moment, polish yourself, and you are going to be a beautiful interior designer someday. Or whatever it is that you choose to do in this industry. There are so many things that you can do in this industry. I just want to encourage you that I know that these are hard times, and you just graduated high school in the middle of a global pandemic. Let this catapult you into just being an amazing person, for taking these hard times and sharpening yourself into a wonderful person, making lemonade out of lemons. That's what life is all about, and that's what this moment is. That's what this year is all about. So make your lemonade, starting with this program. Good luck to you all. I hope that this program means to you what it has meant to me. I hope that it pushes you. I hope that you get to grasp onto the dreams that you've been holding on to all of your life. I hope that it leads you in places that you didn't know that you would go. This is the time that matters. Right now matters. Welcome to the Interior Design Program. Things to take away from this video. Things that you need to take away. Things to take away? No. I'm in bed. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, here we are. Good Lord.